Hello, friends. Welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister. And we are in Bible study. We're in the Niv. We're in the book of Numbers. We're in chapter 14, which starts out with the people rebel. Let's jump in. That night, all the people of the community raised their voice and wept aloud. All the Israelites grumbled against Moses and Aaron and the whole assembly and said to them, "If only we had died in Egypt or in this desert. Why is the Lord bringing us to this land only to let us fall by the sword? Our wives and children will be taken as plunder." No, that's valid. That's valid concern. Wouldn't it be better for us all to go back to Egypt? Ugh. And they said to each other, "We should choose a leader and go back to Egypt." Then Moses and Aaron fell face down in front of the whole Israelite assembly and gathered there. Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, Jephunneh, who were among those who had explored the land, tore their clothes and said to the entire Israelite assembly, "The land we passed through and explored is exceedingly good. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land, a land flowing with milk and honey, and he will give it to us. Do not rebel against the Lord." Thank goodness. "And do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will swallow them up. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them." But the whole assembly talked about stoning them. Jerks, right? Then the glory of the Lord appeared at the tent of meeting to all the Israelites. The Lord said to Moses, "How long will these people treat me with contempt? How long will they refuse to believe in me in spite of all the miraculous signs I have performed among them? I will strike them down with plague and destroy them, but I will make you into a nation greater and stronger than they." Moses said to the Lord, "Then the Egyptians will hear about it. By your power you brought these people up from among them, and they will tell the inhabitants of this land about it. They have already heard that you, O Lord, are with these people, and that you, O Lord, have been seen face to face, that your cloud stays over them, and that you go before them like a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. If you put these people to death all at one time, the nations who have heard this report about you will say, 'The Lord was not able to bring these people into the land he promised them on oath, so he slaughtered them in the desert.'" He's saying, God, if you kill them, all of them right now, you will look like a fraud to the world of men. That is a prophet who rolls for his people. Now may the Lord's strength be displayed, just as you have declared. The Lord is slow to anger, abounding in love, and forgiving sin and rebellion. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children for the sins of their father to the third and fourth generations. In accordance with your great love, forgive the sin of these people, just as you have pardoned them from the time they left Egypt until now. Please remember that you love them, Lord. Remember you love them. Please forgive them like you have. The Lord replied, "I have forgiven them, as you have asked. Nevertheless, as surely as I live, and as surely as the glory of the Lord fills the whole earth. Not one of the men who saw my glory and miraculous signs that I have performed in Egypt in the desert, but who disobeyed me and tested me 10 times, not one of them will ever see the land I promised on oath to their forefathers. No one who has treated me with contempt will ever see it. I feel like that's fair. They doubted him. But because my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follows me wholeheartedly, I will bring him into the land he went into, and his descendants will inherit it. Since the Amalekites and the Canaanites are living in the valley, turn back tomorrow and set out towards the desert along the route of the Red Sea. Hebrew Yam Sapith, which is really the Sea of Reeds. It's not really the Red Sea. That's actually a different. The Sea of Reeds is a slightly different location than the Red Sea. It's narrower. The Red Sea is it's very big. Had to take a quick break for a second. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "How long will this wicked community grumble against me? I have heard the complaints of these grumbling Israelites. So tell them, as surely as I live, declares the Lord, I will do to you the very thing I heard you say. In this desert, your bodies will fall, every one of you, 20 years old or more, who was counted in the census and who has grumbled against me. Not one of you will enter the land I swore with an uplifted hand to make your home, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. As for your children that you said would be taken as plunder, I will bring them in to enjoy the land you have rejected. But your bodies will fall in this desert. Your children will be shepherds here for 40 years, suffering for your unfaithfulness." So they just made their whole trek longer. "Until the last of your bodies lies in the desert." Wow. If I were the rest of this group, I'd be pretty mad at these people. "For 40 years, 1 year for each of the 40 days you explored the land, you will suffer for your sins and know what it is like to have me against you. I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will surely do these things to this whole wicked community which has banded together against me. They will meet their end in this desert. Here they will die." So the men Moses had sent to explore the land, who had returned and made the whole community grumble against him by spreading a bad report about it, these men responsible for spreading the bad report about the land were struck down and died of plague before the Lord. Of the men who went to explore the land, only Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh, Jephunneh, survived. When Moses reported this to all the Israelites, they mourned bitterly. Early the next morning, when they went up towards the high hill country, "We have sinned," they said. "We will go up to the place the Lord promised." But Moses said, "Why are you disobeying the Lord's command? This will not succeed. Do not go up, because the Lord is not with you. You will be defeated by your enemies, for the Amalekites and the Canaanites will face you there. because you have turned away from the Lord, he will not be with you. You will fall by the sword. Moses is like, no, you're not, because now you're just trying to disobey God again. Nevertheless, in their presumption, they went up towards the hill country, though Moses, neither Moses nor the ark of the Lord's covenant moved from camp. Then the Amalekites and the Canaanites who lived in that hill country came down and attacked them and beat them down all the way to Hormah. Hormah. So they lost, as Moses said they would. You can't compound not listening to God by not listening to God some more. Sometimes after we didn't do something, we can't just quick fix it. We now have to find a different way because of something that we did or didn't do as needed, right? Sometimes timing is key. In fact, usually timing is key. Till the next video, friends. Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we're in Bible study. We're in the Niv. We are in this video. We are in Numbers, chapter 15. Okay, so supplementary offerings. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, after you enter the land I am giving you as a home, and you present to the Lord offerings made by fire from the herd or the flock as an aroma pleasing to the Lord, whether burnt offering or sacrifices for special vows, or free will offerings or festival offerings, then the one who brings his offering shall present to the Lord a grain offering, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with a quart of a hin of oil." All right, so they give us a footnote of hin. That made me confused because, I thought hin was a measurement, or that is. It just means hin means that is. A quart of a hin of oil, with each lamb for the burnt offering or sacrifice. Prepare a quart of hin of wine as a drink offering. With a ram, prepare a grain offering of 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil and 1/3 of a hin of water as a drink offering. Offer it as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. So the first time they said ephah in this particular setting, because they did give different measurements, normally do say what the measurement means. 1/10 of an ephah, it is, that is probably about 2 quarts, whereas for the second time that we hear it, because it's got a different measurement attached to it, so that is probably about 4 quarts or 4.5 liters. 2 quarts and 2 liters. It's interesting how those ones are the same amount of measurement. When you prepare a young bull, verse 8, when you prepare a young bull as a burnt offering or a sacrifice for a special vow or a fellowship offering, traditionally called the peace offering, to the Lord, bring with the bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah. Okay. 3/10 of an ephah. That is probably about 6 quarts or 6.5 liters of fine flour mixed with half a hin each. That is probably about 2 quarts or 2 liters of oil. So it is a unit of measure somehow. Also bring half a hin of wine as a drink offering. It will be an offering made by fire, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. Each bull or ram, each lamb or young goat is to be prepared in this manner. Do this for each one, for as many as you prepare. Everyone who is native born must do these things in this way when he brings an offering made by fire as an aroma pleasing to the Lord for the generations to come. Whenever an alien or anyone else living among you presents an offering made by fire as an aroma pleasing to the Lord, he must do exactly as you do. Now, because remember, when we get to this point here, we have gone from it's just Aaron and his two sons doing things to it's all of the Levites everywhere, and now we're talking about 22,000 people they're feeding, plus families, every single day. The community is to have the same rules for you as for the alien living among you. This is a lasting ordinance for the generations to come. You and the alien shall be the same before the Lord. So if you're following these customs while you're in their land and you're doing these sacrifices, doing those things, then you get the same, forgiveness of sins. You get the same covering of stuff. It's not really necessarily about a specific bloodline, he's saying there. It's about who's worshiping or not. If the alien is worshiping them, they're going to get the coverage that the children of Abraham are getting. The same laws and regulations will apply both to you and to the alien living among you. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land to which I am taking you, and you eat the food of the land, present a portion as an offering to the Lord. Present a cake from the first of your ground meal, and present it as an offering from the threshing floor. Throughout the generations to come, you are to give this offering to the Lord from the first of your ground meal." Offerings of unintentional sins. Now, I will say with this, having a grain harvest and having it be a ritual is common in this era that they're living in all over the globe. The grain may change depending upon what the prominent grain is in that area, but it's totally normal. In the Celtic culture, it's called lugnasa, and that's what it is. You literally bake bread, and it's with a particular ritual, with a particular intention of sharing and celebrating, but that's what that one is called on that continent. There's going to be others with different places. So this is just part of what this is for this particular culture. Offerings for unintentional sins. Now, if you unintentionally fail to keep any of these commands the Lord gave Moses, any of the Lord's commands to you through him, from the day the Lord gave them and continuing through the generations to come, and if this is done unintentionally without the community being aware of it, then the whole community is to offer a young bull for a burnt offering as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. So that there would be a case of if in the entire community of Israel decided that they were going to engage in a behavior that is strictly against some sort of Mosaic law, a burnt offering could be made for the whole community as sacrifice to make up for this mass sin. And that's in case anything starts affecting them and they don't know who it is. Really. Along with its prescribed grain offering and drink offering and a male goat for a sin offering. The priest is to make atonement for the whole Israelite community, and they will be forgiven, for it was not intentional. And they have brought to the Lord for their wrong an offering made by fire and a sin offering. The whole Israelite community and the aliens living among them will be forgiven because all the people were involved in the unintentional wrong. Like I said, that's like sort of realizing that some rule that you had forever was hurting people. So then you ask for forgiveness, you change that rule, and then you change the rule, you ask for forgiveness, you make the offering. You can't really ask for forgiveness while you're intending to continue to commit the sin. I mean, you can try, but I wouldn't want to see what his reaction is. He doesn't like that stuff. But that's not on me, because, that's between you and him. But if just one person sins unintentionally, he must bring a year-old female goat for a sin offering. The priest is to make atonement before the Lord for the one who erred by sinning unintentionally, and when atonement has been made for him, he will be forgiven. One and the same law applies to everyone who sins unintentionally, whether he is native born Israelite or an alien. But anyone who sins defiantly, whether native born or alien, blasphemes the Lord, and that person must be cut off from his people, because he has despised the Lord's word and broken his command. That person must surely be cut off. His guilt remains on him, because he's not even trying to not sin. The Sabbath breaker put to death. Like, wow, okay. While the Israelites were in the desert, a man found gathering wood on the Sabbath day. Those who found him gathering wood brought him to Moses and Aaron and the whole assembly, and they kept him in custody because it was not clear what should be done to him. Then the Lord said to Moses, "The man must die. The whole assembly must stone him outside the camp." So the assembly took him outside the camp and stoned him to death, as the Lord commanded. I mean, he was probably just trying to start a fire for his house, but okay. Tassels on garments. Because glad we don't live in this anymore. It's because of Christians, we don't have to live in all of this. Tassels on garments. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, throughout the generations to come, you are to make tassels on the corners of your garments, with blue cord on each tassel. You will have these tassels to look at, and so you will remember all the commands of the Lord, that you may obey them, and not prostitute yourselves by going after the lusts of your own hearts and eyes. Then you will remember to obey all my commands, and will be consecrated to your God. And I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God." The tassels, yes, very much so a big deal. Also part of like a symbol. It's a symbol of devotion. In the TV show The Chosen, they made a big deal out of that with Peter. If you saw it, they were subtly showing it as he got called, after he got called the Rock. They started showing you these scenes where you can see part of like Peter's leg and the end of his sort of tunic, where the tassels now are hanging off where they weren't before. So they're a sign of devotion to your faith as well, especially during, especially during the time of the Messiah. So until the next video, friends. Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. We are still in Bible study. We are still in the Niv and still in the book of Mark, still in chapter 14. But we are going to be wrapping it up. It is verses 53 through 72. Yeah, 72. This is why there's, so many videos. It's because chapter 14 has 72 verses, which is really far too long for one video. Before the Sanhedrin, they took Jesus to the high priest, and all the chief priests, elders, and teachers of the law came together. Peter followed him at a distance. So, loyal, for at least for the next few minutes. Right into the courtyard of the high priest. There he sat with the guards and warmed himself by the fire. Because remember, he didn't look like one of them, so he needs to be around the rough and tumble people who look like him, who might have a reason to be there. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for evidence against Jesus so they could put him to death. But they did not find any. Many testified falsely against him, but their statements did not agree. So they would have been dismissed. Because remember, the law, the Mosaic law, says you have to have a certain number of witnesses, and it can't just be one, or you can't prove anything. Then some stood up and gave this false testimony against him. We heard him say, I will destroy this man-made temple in 3 days and build another not made by man. Okay? Yet even their testimony did not agree. Now, he did say he was going to do that, but he was talking about his body. Then the high priest stood up before them and asked Jesus, are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you? But Jesus remained silent and gave no answer. They can't trick him into death if he doesn't say anything. Again, the high priest asked him, are you the Christ, or Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One? Because these were a bunch of, like, these things are false, so there's no need to say anything. I am, said Jesus, because they finally asked him something worth asking. And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven. Then the chief priest tore his clothes. Why do we need any more witnesses? He asked. The Jewish people in that time frame were very dramatic. If people were, somebody died or you were sad about something, you're supposed to rip your clothes, throw dirt on your head, maybe like shave your beard or something very dramatic to let them know the depths of your very deep feelings. And it's just a welcome to the way they are. So, because it was actually in there. Like, if you're in a state of that in, like, the Old Testament, they tell you to tear your clothes and throw dirt on you. I mean, you're being ordered to be dramatic, so they just, they're in it. They're in it to win it, because it's their culture, and that's what they were told to do. The high priest tore his clothes. Why do we need any more witnesses? He asked. You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think? They all condemned him as worthy of death, because blasphemy for them, that was you died. In the Old Testament is full of stories of these leaders who the reason God's with them till the moment they put themselves in equal to him, and then he tears them down. Even if you were looking at the Roman Empire, which ran for many years, they started down that myth and belief at the end that they could become gods. He doesn't care who you are. He'll take it down. And now their entire culture, the Roman culture, is entirely about him. Because that's where the Vatican is, right? Rome. Pope's supposed to be all about God and nothing else. First their leaders wanted to be God. Now their leaders have to worship God. In exclusion to all others. He does what he does. Then some began to spit at him. They blindfolded him, struck him with their fists, and said, prophesy. And the guards took him and beat him. That's just, like, it makes me very sad. I don't like it. But then why would I? Because that's my Messiah. Peter disowns Jesus. Jesus is something else, being willing, knowing that he's going to go through that. And then, even after begging God to not make it happen, not getting the answer of no, it's not going to happen, still voluntarily gives himself up. All in. Verse 66. While Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came by. When she saw Peter warming himself, she looked at him closely. You are also with the Nazarene, Jesus, she said. But he denied it. I don't know or understand what you're talking about, he said. And he went out into the entryway. B. Some early manuscripts, entryway, and the rooster crowed. But that was just one denial. When the servant girl saw him there, she said again to those standing around, this fellow is one of them. Again he denied it. After a little while, those standing near Peter, surely you are one of them, for you are a Galilean. He began to call down curses on himself, and he swore to them, I don't know this man you're talking about. Immediately, the rooster crowed the second time. And that some early manuscripts do not have a second time. I mean, Jesus wouldn't have predicted correctly that Peter was going to deny him if they were all happening before the rooster crowed. So, I think they have the rooster crowed maybe in the wrong place. Because Jesus didn't say a second time. But some, in this one, they do have him saying a second time. So at least they're trying to make it work. So Jesus is still predicting properly. Immediately the rooster crowed a second time. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken to him. Before the rooster crows twice, you will disown me 3 times. And he broke down and wept. Because he realized what he did. Creating a separation between you and Jesus is not good. He went there out of loyalty, but understand that if he had been caught in that moment, if he had admitted that he was a follower of Jesus, he would have been up on that cross next to him. And then, we wouldn't end up with what is the equivalent of the first pope. Either way, Peter still would have been guarding the pearly gates. Like he is, but he wouldn't have been able to establish the church. And likely most of us would not have been, like most of us who are Christian now would have had to become Jewish. Because it was really kind of Peter and Paul. P squared. That sort of made it so that we don't have to eat a Jewish diet, a traditional Jewish keeping kosher diet is what I mean by that. We don't have to get circumcised. We can be Gentiles and not Jewish people and be saved because of the communications of Peter and Paul, from Jesus to Peter and Paul. Some of that coming from visions, very specifically. Which I know is like, but I thought you can't be psychic. No. Psychics talk to whatever energy is in the room. People who are very in tune with Creator can have psychic abilities. It's just they're only focused on him. That's kind of the difference between a prophet and a psychic. The difference between Moses and Balaam. Balaam was doing the first sacrifices, the same stuff that Moses was doing as commanded by God. Moses kept his focus on God. Balaam started giving out blessings for money. And then therefore became Satan's hand puppets. A psychic. And no longer a prophet. And therefore died in a war. So that's a good thing to remember. That's a good thing to remember as we go about this. It's not having the ability to do something that's either good or bad. Those are just tools. It's how you use the tools and the intention in which you are using those tools that really matters. You are either in a state of peace and love and trying to seek Creator and your individual relationship with Him, pardon me, or you're looking for the loopholes and you're trying to find a way to get away with something. And that intention doesn't come from God. So, I encourage you to stay strong in your faith, my friends, and keep your attention on doing what is right. Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy. I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the Niv. In this video, we are in Psalms, Book 2, Psalm 53, and we're going to do the whole thing. It's only 6 verses. Let's jump in. For the director of music, according to Mahalath, a maskil of David. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt, and their ways are vile. There is no one who does good. God looks down from heaven on the sons of men to see if there is any who understand, any who seek God. Everyone has turned away. They have together become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Will the evildoers never learn? Those who devour my people as men eat bread and who do not call on God? They were, overwhelmed with dread, where there was nothing to dread. God scattered the bones of those who attacked you. You put them to shame, for God despised them. Oh, that salvation for Israel would come out of Zion when God restores the fortune of his people. Let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad. Till the next video, friends.